Welcome back, everybody, to some more Victors and Vanquished. Last time we did Shimazu, our first of the Sengoku Jedi Japanese scenarios, and now we've got the new one, Nobunaga. We've got a ninja, and we've also got a Philadelphia.
Hi, Ornlu. You're not getting rid of me so soon. I'm still here.
Indeed, you are. Let's see.
Living in your basement.
Just popping out for the occasional scenario. Perfect. All right, let's see what's going on with Nobunaga.
Fall and the cranes soar. The shogun is weak and Japan is divided. The clans vie for power and war has come to the land. Your clan is one of many, but its claims on the shogunate are truer than most. It is your destiny to overcome the clans, unite Japan, and rule. Only one crane will soar higher than the others.
Oh, that was fast.
Yes, right to the point. Now you'll get to pick one of 6 different clans you can play as. That's the unique selling point of this scenario.
All right, so choose a clan at the Imperial Palace. Review scouts for detailed information on each clan. We have a population limit of 200. Each clan has different bonuses and begins at war with different clans. Complete the clan's secondary objective for a bonus listed below. So Oda clan gets crenellations. Takeda clan gets stirrups and I imagine Hoberk.
Yep.
Uesugi clan has, I guess, Garland Wars. The Mori clan has, I think, Supremacy. The Otomo clan.
Your deduction.
Yeah. It's like I played this game a lot. The Otomo clan has Arquebus, and the Chosokabe has, I guess, the Mayan resources bonus.
You know, it's one thing about that. Often I wonder, should I just say the unique technology names? Now, they often can change with balance changes, but I think people don't quite all know them, unlike maybe you or I would. So it's always good to see the actual effect there. But
yeah, it thematically makes more sense as well, right? The famous Garland Wars of feudal Japan. And each clan can research a separate special technology at the town center. On hard difficulty, you must defeat all clans before time expires. Also, there is an achievement for this one. I think we just have to win it on hard, though, which we're going to do anyway.
Yep. With any faction on hard.
Yep, okay. We're yellow, huzzah. Is our color changing?
Your color will change indeed. So that's a unique thing here. It's not a perfect implementation, but at least it gets you feel like you're the actual clan.
All right. Awesome. So the Oda clan, I assume, is yellow because of the Kyoto scenario. Samurai and infantry are cheaper and train faster. Located in a strife-filled region of Japan, Oda must be resourceful to survive. They place a unique emphasis on commoner soldiers and are open to promoting these Ashigaru to important positions if it means the most talented will rise. The Oda are at war with the Uesugi, Mori, and Chosokabe. The Takeda have a charge attack and increased attack. The Proud Takeda have little-known peace in the contested east-central region of Honshu. If they are to unite Japan, the Takeda must focus on expansive war and train armies of cavalry, such as the Takeda Way. The Takeda are at war with the Uesugi, Mori, and Chosokabe. Uesugi, samurai regenerate, do area damage, and are immune to conversion. Can train elite samurai before other factions. Has Uesugi Kenshin hero that levels up by fighting. The Uesugi are devout warriors led by Uesugi Kenshin, the famous dragon of Ichigo. Only through his prowess will they prove that the war god favors the Uesugi clan. The Uesugi are at war with the Oda, Takeda, and Otomo. Mori. Ships have more hit points and are cheaper. Can train criminal networks and explosive traps. Oh yeah, you mentioned this. Can recruit merchants, saboteurs, and ninjas at the criminal network. Living on the western end of Honshu has encouraged the Mori to look to the sea and to clandestine ways to exert their power. Their history of subterfuge and assassination allows them to recruit unscrupulous talents of their criminal network. The Mori are at war with the Oda, Takeda, and Otomo. The Otomo can train missionaries and elite conquistadors. They can build feuderias, can train hand cannons and cannon galleons before other factions. The Otomo rule Kyushu in the far west. The sea gives them protection, but makes eastward expansion difficult. This distance from other clans has reaped benefits. The Otomo were first to welcome the curious Nanban, which are foreigners. Foreigners from the south. The Otomo are at war with the Uesugi, Mori, and Chosokabe. And lastly, the Chosokabe, archers and cav archers have greater range. Lumberjacks and farmers regenerate gold. Can train heavy cav archers before other factions. The Chosokabe are isolated on Shikoku, which is the small island in Japan. But this isolation does not imply poverty. The island has rich in minerals and lumber that will equip the clan's superior archers. Their footholds on Honshu are fragile, but will be a foundation for their expansion. The Chosokabai are worth the Oda, Takeda, and Atomo.
Bravo, Ornlu. Those Japanese clan names. Perfect.
That's what I do.
Pronunciations. There you go. So I think you should try the Mori clan. They're the most unconventional, and so I think you can have some fun, especially with those explosive traps.
Yeah, I like having fun. Oh, we are a hero ship. Okay, so
Hero dragon ship. Yes, you are.
don't really start with that many resources.
No, but you have quite a bit of villagers, quite a bit of base, and it's mostly a traditional build and destroy, but there's twists. So a lot of the factions have all those different powers. And here you have that criminal network. So if you click your trade workshop over there,
there it
your
is.
criminal network, and you can train different types of unique units here.
Okay, so you have the Inquisitive Merchant from Shimazu.
Yep.
And
Basically like a mobile outpost, effectively.
Saboteurs are just Saboteurs, I think. And the ninjas... So how do they have attack bonus versus heroes?
So they have the hero class is higher. So they have a benefit against fighting against them.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a higher first attack. Now, if you click one of your villagers, you can actually see how can you build one of the explosive traps. So click there. You should see an explosive trap for 20 gold. And what that is basically like a landmine. So you can set traps for some of the AI units, and you can see some spectacular explosions associated with them.
All right, so we have Yasuma and then True Pure Land. Each town center spawns a one-time batch of Iko Iki. So those are priests, historically. Or militant priests.
Yep.
Don't know what they are in this context.
They will be fighting units. They'll be hero units. Now, your side objective here for the Mori clan specifically is to attain 100 more kills and deaths. All you have to do is just get 100 more kills and deaths. So try to do that, and you'll get an additional bonus. There'll be the supremacy bonus to strengthen your villagers.
Awesome. Well, we are pretty spread out here over what is, I assume, Western Honshu. And let's go scout around with Yoshinari here. We have a couple relics in our general vicinity as well. So, we already have, of course, Kyoto, the original Age of Conquerors Japanese scenario, that has the end of Nobunaga's life.
Yes.
So, what did you want to do here with Gygax going more fully into the Sengoku Jedi Warring States period?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a very popular period, a very interesting period. And in some ways, just because Victors and Vanquished was sort of meant to be one-off scenarios, battle-style scenarios, you can't really, like, tell the full story of Sengoku Jedi. Like, let's say you did, an Oda Nobunaga campaign, you'd probably want more than one scenario for that.
Yeah.
But what does make the period pretty compelling is this idea that I kind of borrowed from my my Three Kingdoms scenarios, such as Cao Cao's Ambition and some of the other ones there, where you can sort of pick different factions, and it's a way to make what's otherwise a Japanese mirror match a little bit more interesting. So you can get to play on the same map, pick different starting locations, have different enemies, have different special bonuses for your faction, and so you can sort of replay this one scenario many times, and basically it's like 6 different scenarios depending on how you your interest in playing as the different factions. So that's basically why I wanted to do this. I thought this would be a perfect setting to have, take what's otherwise Japanese mirror matches, if you did a campaign about the Sengoku Jedi, and turn it on its head to be something you could play as different sides of it.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing with the Japanese and the AoE2 time frame is that there isn't a ton of interaction with non-Japanese factions.
Yep.
So it would be difficult to otherwise run into a Pachacudi problem where it's just the one civ over and over and over again.
Exactly. Just that's all you would pretty much do. And there's as you know, there were things like the Imjin War against Korea and Ming China, but that's still a very controversial and sensitive topic. So Otherwise, Sengoku Jidai would be primarily just Japanese, and so it's not as fun. But when there's something like this where you can play as choose your faction and sort of they have different bonuses, then it sort of livens it up a little bit more.
Oh, for sure. And immediately upon seeing this, I'm like, okay, this is like all the Chinese scenarios. So we're just collecting some relics right now. We do have a time limit, but it's a very generous time limit. So I'm not too worried about that just yet. Do some fishing. Done a lot of fishing in the last few scenarios. Just played Shimazu yesterday, and I played Constantine the 11th. Lots of fishing.
Water's important. Well, you told me before you don't mind water maps, though.
I do not.
You get some water maps, especially Japan, if it makes sense.
Yeah, historically, though, during this time frame, the Japanese didn't really have that great of a navy because they didn't do a ton of fighting non-Japanese enemies. It was mostly just occasional pirates and whatnot. So that's actually one of the reasons that the Korean Navy was able to figure out a way to defeat the Japanese Navy despite being way less powerful and fewer people. Is just the Japanese weren't used to naval combat.
Absolutely. In some ways, they were kind of like the Romans when they first fought the Punic Wars, and the first Punic War against Carthage, where it was sort of like they were used to land combat, and so their view of even naval warfare was more like land combat. Have samurai sort of boarding opposing ships, and you can't really board a turtle ship, right? And so it's sort of like completely upended anything they could ever really do.
Indeed. Well, we have a full 200 pop limit, so I still feel like it's probably in our best interest to go ahead. There's no... We build a campfire. That's an explosive trap.
Indeed. Now, in the official Discord, someone was curious, how do those explosive traps work? And so I've kind of let the secret out the bag. So what it is so somebody guessed, they said, it must be related to petards or saboteurs. And indeed, it is related to petards or saboteurs. But the problem is you cannot get a villager to build a petard or saboteur. Villagers are just hard-coded. They can't build units. They can only build buildings. So what I did in this case was I took one of the barricade buildings, which you see in many different scenarios, and I reskinned it, basically. I gave it a graphic, which you can do via triggers, of a bonfire, and enabled villagers to build it. Now what happens though is every single time that one of these is built, they're just barricades that look like bonfires, it immediately replaces into a saboteur that I've modified to have the graphic of a bonfire and be completely immobile and unselectable. So even though you just placed what looks like a bonfire, that's actually a petard that has been modified with a bigger blast radius, modified to have 0 movement speed, modified to be unselectable, but that's basically what's sitting there, is a 0 pop, 0 movement speed petard that you've set there.
Interesting. I thought I saw some dudes heading towards us. Okay, that's just a trade cart. Nothing to worry about there. Oh, well, rip. Anyway, let's make some ninjas, because why not? What's the hotkey for this? There isn't one. So I think my game sounds are really low. All right, there we go. So we should have a good amount of Honshu, Kyushu, and Shikoku covered here in this scenario. And I think what is going to make the most sense... I mean, we have a lot of starting area. So I think we should be able to go ahead and just sort of expand eastward and deal with most of our land enemies first. I guess Kyoto is just a dummy AI. It doesn't really do anything other than the initial selecting.
It was intended for initial selection.
Yeah. Look at this merchant. It's literally slower than a battering ram.
But will not be attacked and gives you a wide line of sight.
Yes, it does.
Well, you can use merchants to sort of spy on your enemies.
Might as well do that. Oh, here are ninjas. 9 plus 101 attack.
Yeah, their first attack is basically instant kill.
Oh, man.
They are very squishy though. Only 30 hit points.
Oh, that's fine. We're gonna get an army of them regardless. I don't care.
And to be fair, some of the other factions basically have, you know, Georgina Samurai and archers with additional range and elite conquistadors. So this is what you have. You have ninjas and explosive traps.
Now how many clans there's or what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clans?
There's 5.
Oh, there's 5.
There's 5 other clans. One of them is your ally, effectively. They're at this point they're passive. The other Mori clan.
Mm-hmm.
And you're at war with 3 of them right now.
We're allies with the Chosokabe and Uesugi. Oh yeah, we have a ship bonus, right?
You do. You have cheaper ships and they have more hit points.
And can we get can we get all the way up to cannon galleons?
No.
All right. Well, I guess it'll be helpful against Kyushu and Shikoku, but
Yep.
not really here. Here are the Oda. Of course, that is Nobunaga's own clan.
And they're basically like goth spam at Japanese.
Yeah.
They have very cheap units, very cheap infantry units, and they have additional population space.
Okay, we need one more TC, then we can get some Iko Iki. And I guess we could go for some Yasuma keeps as well. I see that we have regular Samurai and Yasuma, so I guess all civs at the very least can make your regular Japanese stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they can.
Just do some more scouting. So when you were thinking of, okay, how are we going to differentiate the different clans? Did you just have in mind, okay, I want an infantry one, an archer one, a cavalry one, a ninja one, and an eco one?
Kind of, and then there's sort of the Atomo that are sort of like monks and European and influences. Kind of. I mean, it also is just sort of kind of based on some of the history. Now, people who have played the Total War game, Shogun 1 and Shogun 2, they probably would notice that there is some similarities too. It's because the source material kind of is similar in terms of like the Takeda had lots of horsemen, the Uesigi clan had more, you know, like almost like warrior monks in some respect. So some of that stuff is sort of shared with the Total War series, but that was kind of the approach. It's like, how can I make this unique based off of those prototypes, those archetypes of infantry civ, eco and archer civ, a strong infantry civ. So one is quantity like the Odo, and then one's quality like the Uesugi, and then like cavalry is the Takeda. And then sort of the Mori was like, okay, they're going to be naval, but that just didn't feel fun enough. And so, you know, they did have ties to the Iko Iki revolt. That was one vector. And then I wanted to incorporate the ninjas, so I assigned them basically have the Mori be the ninja faction. Whether that's totally historically accurate or not, it still is a way to differentiate them relative to the other clans.
Yeah, the ninjas, like what most people associate with ninjas, I believe they were more focused in like the little bit to the east, that region up in the mountains and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a clan I think called the Hattori that was sort of known for having a lot of ties with them. But they were also prevalent, I believe they're also prevalent throughout, or at least people that did clandestine things, assassinations and stuff like that, espionage. Of course, you know, the ninja graphic we have here is probably not quite historically accurate, but that's sort of the pop culture depiction of ninjas.
I don't care. Vikings have horned helmets. For all I care, ninjas.
Mamelukes, I mean, scimitar throwing guys on
Bactrian camels.
Bactrian camels. Yeah, that's quite different. Not quite accurate. They actually, you asked earlier about cannon galleons. You know, actually, now that you mention it, I actually do not recall if I totally blocked off cannon galleons for all the factions. I know that you have an advantage as the Atomo to have access to those gunpowder weapons and cannon galleons from their Portuguese contact. I don't recall actually off the top of my head if I actually disabled it for the other factions. So you may have access to it later. We shall see when you get to the Imperial Age.
All right. We are now in Imp. Oh. Don't really care about just a few light galleys. So I assume all your enemies do get post-imp eventually.
Oh yeah, they upgrade. They build their bases. This is a case of more like skirmish style AIs. They're constructing, they're expanding, they're gathering resources in different places. They will be defeated if you can take out their town centers, castles, and enough of their military units that they're not too strong at that point. Now with your saboteurs, they are quite powerful. If you played Mangadai Madness, you probably experienced some crazy saboteurs. They're not quite at that level, but they can still do a lot of damage. Now, what you might want to do for some fun is try to see if you can build one of those explosive traps, maybe closer to the enemy, and that way your viewers can sort of see the enemy units kind of lured into it and see them blow up.
Well, that is the goal, but first I need to find the bad guys. If only I had a good scouting unit with this clan. Get conscription. You can get Catabruto and stuff like that in a little bit.
You say you're hunting the bad guys, and you're the guy whose soldiers dress all in black and have explosive saboteurs. Yep, checks out.
Yep.
So there's your Iki Iki. They are very strong.
They look a lot like
Cinderella fighters.
Oh, they're the Cinderella fighters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first use case of them.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Instant deaths, look at that.
And they're what? They're basically just half HP longswordsmen behind that.
Yeah, I mean their cooldown is very long, as you can see. So you basically just want to get your first hit in and get them out of there.
Now the thing with saboteurs is that they're good against units, unlike petards. Oh, I need to bring some more vills over. That way I can build some mines and whatnot. Oh yeah, your little dragon ship doing dragon shippy things. Got our.
You're getting a good KD, so you're closer to getting supremacy, which would then, supremacy is the Flemish Revolution before Flemish Revolution.
So, oh, you mean it's just regular like Spanish supremacy?
Yeah, it's Spanish supremacy. So you're stronger villagers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who cares about the water right now? It is all about ninjas and samurai. Ninjas and saboteurs, there we go. Alright, let's build some mines that unfortunately don't have hotkeys.
That's strange. I wonder why. They should have had hotkeys. I'll have to look into that.
Alright. Oh, let's keep up with that stuff. Now, siege engineers should affect the saboteurs, if I'm not very mistaken. Oh, wait! That's Kyoto's mining camp, not mine. Wondering why those vills were walking all over the place. Alright. Let's build some more of the trade workshops, or criminal networks, or whatever you call them.
They want you to think it's a trade workshop, but down in the basement is the actual criminal network.
Ah, classic. Well, I already have like a bajillion resources. Oh, there we go. There is our first mine blowing up. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so the enemies actually do attack them.
Yep, because remember, they're reskinned petards effectively. So that's a way to lure them in. So I played around with could I make it be so that the enemy doesn't attack them, but that actually made it less fun because they wouldn't actually go to them. This way they're lured to it and then they explode.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. More mines.
I know in a lot of the campaigns, especially my campaigns, you play very different than how you normally play the Civ, but this is very, very different indeed.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you can still play the more infantry-centric style. You also have the entirety of Shimazu, which is like near enough regular Japanese gameplay. And then you have Kurikara and Kyoto, which are very standard Japanese gameplay. So there's plenty of opportunity to play as regular Japanese in a campaign setting. Oh, here's some more gold. All right. Okay, need some more saboteurs.
It's more like you're playing with some new toys right now.
Absolutely.
If I say anything else.
I am just messing
You're
around
floating.
with all the weird units I can.
Yeah, you're not even have 200 pop yet, and you're floating like 9,000 food. But
Yep.
You're having fun with the toys.
But Lord Nobunaga is not in Kyoto, so I don't feel the need to rescue him to restore his honor.
No, you're just gonna kill him.
Yep.
I think you actually killed him already. He would have been hanging around there.
Yeah.
Now, what are the Takeda doing? That's interesting. Unescorted siege rams or capped rams.
What? Unescorted capped rams?
Yep.
Do you know what the ninja bonus damage is?
I can't tell you off the top of my head. But it is a bonus against a set of bonus against unique units and heroes, so they can actually also do extra damage to samurai as well. But you want to get that first hit, that first charged up hit is your best bet.
Yeah, of course. Oh, come on, jerk. Villagers are stronger.
There you go. You get your 100 more kills and deaths. Now you got your supremacy villagers as well. Easier to forward build your explosive traps with.
Perfect. Oh, there's more stuff over this way. Oh, we got the Oda.
There you go.
So the Uesugi should also be here on Honshu. The Takeda as well.
Mm-hmm. Takeda are further in the east, and the Uesugi are in the north.
Yep.
Gonna take them out and then go for the island clans.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I must warn you, the island clans they may build a lot of towers, so they may have nice little island fortresses. So there was Takeda's Shingen.
Yep. I like these Yasuma towers too much just to not spam them all over the place. It's too fun.
Yeah, you can definitely play. It's very quirky. Tons of Yasama towers, all these different things you can do. More of a sandbox of a scenario.
Absolutely. Okay, let's just bring these villas forward. I already have 10,000 food. Oh look, I'm getting attacked by some more galleys. I don't care.
Oh! That wiped them all out.
Oh, they don't have stirrups. I thought they had stirrups.
Mm-mm.
Go get him. Well, these guys are getting wrecked.
A lot of people struggle to win this scenario in the time limit on hard. I mean, you're basically fooling around and doing it. You're a different breed, Ornlu. I mean, they should watch your videos. This is how you see how to get it done.
Well, that's a lot of people watch my videos so they can figure out how to beat campaigns.
They just know you have your talent, clearly.
Oh, yeah. Funnily enough, the only scenarios I actually kind of struggled on were the ones that I've done with you so far. I think that's the only time I've ever even failed the missions.
Oh, that's right. Well, this one you're going well. The only thing that might get you caught up might be the time, but I think you have plenty of time. So I think
I was really
won't have an
worried
issue
during
here.
Shimazu, and then like I had over 20 years left by the time that the Shogun was attacking. I actually had to speed through it because I had killed everybody and the Shogun still wasn't mad at me yet.
Oh, well done. I assume that means you didn't do too much with the Europeans then.
No, I was like, man, the Europeans are going to make the Shogun angry, so let's not bother with them yet.
They do give you cool things.
They do.
But maybe not necessary. Oh, look at that. I can't imagine how multiplayer would be if there were actual saboteurs.
Yeah, people ask for them, and I say no. No, that would be decisively unfun. I played StarCraft 2 with Banelings for long enough.
I mean, especially since the thing that makes Age so unique as an RTS game is, the units, they naturally go into formations. For better,
Yeah.
they go in formations, and saboteurs would just make that not fun. You never would want your units gathered together.
Also, most of the time, fights don't just, like, turn on a dime. The exception, of course, being, like, big siege onager hits or something, but short of that, usually fights are more gradual.
Yeah, and siege onagers, it takes a bit to get tech up to them, and they're slow, and you kind of see them from a mile away. They're so big, and
Well, I mean, it works with Mangonels and Castle Age. I mean, the principle's the same, but yeah.
but not quite to that same extent of
Yeah.
AoE damage.
Yep, there's another castle.
I'm watching you do this, and I'm like, man, I should have given the AIs more advantages. You're just steamrolling. I hear a lot of people struggling with this scenario too.
What can I say? I'm using the power of the ninja and saboteurs to blow everything up. Honestly, I would imagine that if you just picked the Takeda or something and just steamrolled with cavalry, it'd be even easier.
Yeah, and you can research the unique technology, give you gold every time you destroy buildings and stuff like that. So, you can just run your economy off of that.
Yeah.
Just attacking and attacking. Yeah, each faction sort of has kind of OP bonuses otherwise, which may actually give the player in the end an advantage, just because the AI is less able to sort of leverage those bonuses to quite the same extent that a player can.
Oh, of course.
Case in point, I'm able to have the AI will build, if the AI is playing as the Mori clan, they will build explosive traps, but they won't quite do it in the way that a human can in the most opportunistic places, or even use it offensively. They more sort of build it around their base, kind of like towers to protect their base.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of which, let's build some more explosive traps. At least these ninjas are fun to use. It's not like the AoE4 ninjas that don't really ever do anything. Or AoE3 ninjas, my bad.
AoE3 ninjas. Well, the Japanese are in AoE4 now as well.
Oh, that's right. Alright. Let's bring everyone over here. So we have, what, an hour and a half game time to beat the scenario?
42 minutes. So 90 minutes total.
Yeah.
So you're about a little over halfway there.
Which, considering we're about to beat enemy number 2, is probably fine.
Now, the other two clans are allied with you still, but they will not be allied with you much longer.
I guess they turn after you beat the second clan or something?
Correct. It's based on your progress. Now, some people may say, well, shouldn't it be timer-based? The issue with that is sort of, when you do it this way, allows to sort of match the player's progression and how they're doing. So you defeat 2 clans, and the other 2 will then become your enemy.
Oh, you never rebuilt the tower. Ripperino.
And their ships have pretty much wiped out your farming economy here.
If only I didn't have 10,000 food left. Right, keep going. Oh, I was trying to build over the landmine because it's so hard to see. Now, the unfortunate thing, though, with these landmines is that they don't really suit the way that the AI sends units at you. It's why mangonels and stuff aren't that great in campaigns, right? Usually it's just like streaming units in one at a time.
Yeah, not like a big group.
Yep, you can get Elite Cannon Galleon.
Now, I've toyed with the idea of something like this would be a pretty fun multiplayer scenario in a sort of Diplo scenario style,
Yeah.
and keeping some of these crazy bonuses. And so I can imagine players having a lot of fun either on the receiving end or on the giving end of the explosive traps or some of the other things here, like samurai that are elite samurai with Georgina can wipe out a ton of units.
Oh yeah, I mean you stack that with the fast attack speed of Samurai, that just becomes that much more OP.
Yeah, it's like a saw blade.
Yeah.
Just fighting through.
All right, where are my Saboteur? Oh, they have a very slow train speed.
They do. Gotta have something to corral it a little bit. I mean, who needs Shri Vamsha riders? Ornlu's micro does it. Look at that. One guy hit.
Yeah, I got one hit. All right, let's start sending dudes this way. Get to work, lazy butts. That's a mill, not an outpost.
So we talked before, like Charlemagne, it was a one sword, so sort of more of an introductory scenario. This also is a one sword for similar reasons, because it still has core gameplay, but in a sort of more sandboxy way, and it's a little less punishing for players, despite maybe the timer being the only thing you do have to worry about, on hard at least.
Yeah. I think auto was probably the easiest one in my experience. That was 3 swords.
I have not seen yet you play that at this time of recording.
I mean, basically, I found it almost impossible to lose. Your allies, like, once you just sort of get them on your side, your
really
enemies
strong,
just aren't
right?
very scary.
Yeah. Yeah, they're ultimately sort of barbarian in groups. Now, if you end up having all 3 of your vassals rebel, there's the option that West Francia could become hostile, and they could be a bit of annoyance.
Well, West Francia was the the strongest opponent, but it took me so long to actually get them angry at me because it took it took so long to get all of my vassals angry at me. So like I had to go in like ×8 speed and just like sit around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? Because as you are successful in battle, as you get lots of kills, they like you more. And
Yeah.
so, and also your military population, if you maintain a bigger army than them, they will like you. So there's sort of, it can be challenging if you're good enough to actually have them be rebellious. But I think you can kind of imagine a less experienced player could find that quite challenging, based on
Oh,
unexpected
I'm sure.
rebellions and all that sort of stuff.
All right, where do I have some
It's
leftover bills?
It's hard to design for you, Ornlu. You're the 1%. So it's like there's a balancing act we have to sort of do.
Well, there's at least, I would say, in general, more challenge in a lot of the campaigns than there used to be. Although I don't like that you guys nerf the campaigns.
There are you canning gallons. Yeah, I wasn't certain. I did like think back like, did I disable? I don't know. I wasn't sure. So you do have access to canning gallons. The other factions. It's just if you play as the Atomo, you get them sooner. You get them right away.
Oh, like you can get them in Castle Age?
Yeah.
So how cheap are our warships? Oh, very cheap. Although that's just on the wood cost. I guess you just get the Korean bonus on top of shipwright. No, you get more of a discount than that.
No, I have set values that I did via triggers that just make it pretty cheap. Not like Korean bonus or anything like that specifically.
Okay, now is when we build the landmines.
Oh, here they come with all their rams. Oh, if he can get any built in time.
Come on, attack!
Oh, this is doing it in the perfect time.
Come on! Wait, what
They
happened?
didn't go up.
What happened to the
It didn't go
landmine?
up.
It didn't? Oh!
It didn't finish. They have to finish constructing it.
Aren't they built like instantly?
No, they're not. They take a couple seconds. I can't have it be totally instantly.
Oh my goodness.
It was a good thought, though. That was a perfect time to use one. This guy, he wants instantly built landmines that do like AoE damage across like 8 tiles.
Hey man, what else? He had to set up the landmines ahead of time. I mean, that would be ridiculous. Oh wait, they converted my buildings, jerks!
Oh, that's funny.
That's like a
Oh,
class.
that one's going to go convert that one. Oh no, he's turning around.
That's a classic AI move right there.
He cannot build those units though. He can't train ninjas though.
Oh,
Useless
no.
for the AI. I love just the narrative concept of I'm just gonna build all these criminal networks right here on the edge of your base. what do they mean?
Alright. I feel like I still have to land these guys, which is not boding well for my time limit.
I think it sort of depends on how inland they actually built some of their castles and town centers. They'll likely also have to do a landing in Shikoku.
Yep. Okay, come on, guys. Okay, we got that. What's over? Oh, my merchant! I was wondering what was giving me line of sight.
He's your little spy. You got in the back of his base. I can imagine fun with a Diplo scenario. It's like, get your merchant out of my base, or I'm gonna mango him.
I guess they have a.
That's the core.
Yeah, that's the core.
Yeah, there's not much there. Their core area is on the east, right around there. I'm trying to save you some time because it's ticking.
Oh, it is. Okay, let's try going after green here. Well, I kind of already am, but more so. Oh, they landed me.
Now, I've often seen comments elsewhere. People say, "I don't understand. It was easy for Ornlu. Why was everything harder for me?" I'm going to tell people the hard truth. That is your own imagination. You're not playing a different version than Ornlu plays. When Ornlu plays this stuff well and he kills it on hard, it's because he's good. You just have to get better. You can use some of the stuff he does as inspiration, but you're not playing a harder version than he is. Trust me, people.
Oh, we got the Otomo. Sick.
Yep, just able to bombard them, looks like. Probably now try to do some damage to the Chozukabe.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting these T-ports.
Yeah, it looks like you're on a coast. I think you'll... My over-under, I think you're probably going to win with 12 minutes left.
All right, well, I'll try not to let you down. If these weren't such weak units with a long train time, if I was playing just regular AoE2, this would probably be even faster. But we're having fun here.
I mean, you're not even at 200 pop.
Nope.
You're at the strange 195. Somebody out there is driving them crazy.
All right, I'll build a house. All right. I will say this is a fun scenario. Like, it might not be the most difficult one in the world, but it's creative and it's fun, and I do enjoy that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And for people watching, there's 5 other clans folks can also try besides the Mori. The Mori obviously have their own charms, but each of the other clans have very unique things you can do and special units you can have a lot of fun with as well.
Can garrison some villas, build some towers. It's so weird that everything's blue when I build it, but then they turn orange as soon as they're done.
Oh, your color's really blue. It's just there's triggers to dynamically change it. And that was something that I sort of went back and forth on. Does it look less polished? At least the icons when you train units, they come up as blue, but then when you actually use them, they're the right colors. But I think players that sort of appreciate that. We talked about what colors are you in a scenario. Well, this one you can play as 6 different colors. Pick your poison. Pick what you want.
I want to play in cyan.
That's the one I didn't put in here, unfortunately.
Okay, I'll play in gray then.
That's another one that's not in here. But you get my point.
Ah!
I mean, you might put down a trap. You
Yeah,
might
I was
be able
going-
to
I was
bring all
going
them
to. How about this trap?
in. That works too.
All right, come on, come on.
They keep running away. I don't think it was built. Or it can be shot at. So I just want to make that clear. The AI can shoot at it and take it out from a distance.
What about that was 100? Okay, there we go.
There you go.
No. Need to get some of these bills over here. I feel like my queue is enormous, but there's nothing actually coming out. I have 16 army. Oh, the ninjas also take a really long time to train, that's why.
Yep. They all take a long time to train. That's sort of their trade-off, right? Now, one thing, there is something that maybe scenario designers may discover is if they want to have units to train out of the trade workshop, it actually takes a really long time. I think the original Ensemble Studios planned for trade workshops to just generate resources like a Federia.
Yeah.
But there's something coded to it that you actually will have to manually really accelerate train times for anything that you want to be built or researched out of the trade workshop.
Interesting.
Because everything starts really slow. But I still want to keep it slow for the ninjas and saboteurs, just because they are they can be OP units if you could spam them, if they're not already.
Well, at least I have like 10 of them or so. At least I'm demolishing their eco here. But they are more inland, I guess, than the Otomo. Oh, that guy just with his dying breath was able to get a bunch of kills. Anyway, let's try and group them all up.
Oh.
Come on.
Well,
Yeah.
looks like I was wrong. We're approaching 12 minutes, but
Yeah.
you'll still win it.
I would be very disappointed if I couldn't win it. Oh, man.
Oh, it's an opportunity to play as a different clan then.
Yeah. If only I was making halfway decent units. What's purple's bonus again?
The Uesugi, they have really strong elite samurai. They heal. They have Dragina,
Oh, it's those guys.
Garland Wars. They're really powerful.
These guys are like just too far inland.
They're basically what a Weibo's impression of a samurai would be. Just
Oh, perfect.
one man killing machines.
Oh, at least I have all these random keeps over here doing stuff. I mean, they basically just have these production buildings that are too far inland for me to deal with. But I basically just need to wait until I have enough units and then go for one big kill. Yep, we reached the end of the soundtrack, because we just heard the Japanese theme again. Out of curiosity, why'd you have the villagers make the landmines instead of the ninjas?
Well, one is it's a little bit tricky to get a military unit to build things, actually.
Okay.
There's some flags you can do that, sort of like mimic a sergeant, but at the same time, I kind of didn't want the ninjas to be like an entirely like one, like all-purpose unit to that extent, where they do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured it made sense to have your villagers to also be able to construct things. Easier implementation, and
Yeah.
it gives them some a role.
All right, we actually got PopCap for like the first time.
Did they take out that tower you built on?
Yeah, they did.
Sengoku? Okay. Explosive Death Squad.
You know it.
One hit a Treb. Oh, he took quite a few samurai out with that too.
And it still wasn't even close to enough.
No.
Oh no, I literally lost everything, man.
Oh, you got 6 minutes. Oh no.
I don't think I'm gonna beat
Is
it.
it possible?
I think these units just train too slowly for me to...
See, you know what the problem was? I think you overdid it. Orlando.
Yeah.
You overdid the ninjas and saboteurs. You should have a balanced force, have some samurai in there,
Yeah.
different stuff. That would
That'd
have
be
been the key.
boring.
If you can just find a way to take out those castles and town centers. then
Oh,
you'll
I
be
don't think they
cooking.
have any town centers. I think it's just those castles.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably keep the saboteurs for the castle.
Yeah. Whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
they're putting up
whoa,
a new
whoa,
one,
whoa,
too.
not another one. They're actually not good enough against the castles. Oh no.
I think we may be seeing this. I did read a comment where someone said the Mori clan with the ninjas are really great early on, but in the end, their low hit points in the late game kind of start proving to be a disadvantage. So you might be witnessing some of that here.
Well, it would have been fine if they had a faster train time, basically. Because I have the eco for it. It's just... I guess I should have had, like, 20 of these buildings going, but even so...
Or like I said, no one ever had an army of ninjas. Having them sort of be spot troops for certain, shock troops for certain things.
Well, that's
and
quitter
having
talk right there.
Mainstay.
Yeah, and it's difficult to land because they just snipe stuff with trubs. Oh, wait, you are able to reach the castle there. Maybe we're not all hope is... No, we have 2 min-game minutes. That's absolutely all hope is lost. I'm sure this Yasuma keep is just obliterating my ninjas in, like, 2 hits. Like, as awesome as and exciting as that is, like, this is still just not enough.
Yep. Oh,
You know?
could you do it? Could you do it? 1 minute to take out the Uesigi. Can you break the tradition of failing when you play with me?
It's a tough tradition to break. It feels so warm and heartfelt. They still.
Oh, there. At least that one. We still got one more. You got 3 town centers there.
Look at my
don't
unit
make
queue.
it.
It's enormous, man.
Lesson learned. Can't go all ninjas.
Yeah. Rip a Reno.
2, 1. You've been defeated. Womp womp.
Womp womp. Our KD was still insane, though.